Whereas the been since I sorely on Ilkla Moor Baht.
Hi, if you watched my earlier video on programming a Deus One remote, you'll remember I wiped all my custom programs when I upgraded to version 6 software. So I'm making a series of short videos to show you how I install my custom programs, what they do, and why I use particular settings. So this program, Core 2, is a variation of a program originally designed by Search in Shropshire, which was a good dig or don't dig, quite deep, powerful program. Now it's based on Factory Program 2, which is GM Power. Good filters for fine discrimination and deep targets. It's also got good mineralization properties. So let's look at how I set it up and what all the settings do. So first thing you'll notice, discrimination 5. What discrimination is effectively a filter which tells you your detector what the sort of minimum type signal response you're interested in. Anything below 5 is going to be iron, and I don't particularly want it. So I set up tone breaks to tell me what things are. So looking at the expert button, it's a 3 tones program. The original program was 2 tones, but I've altered it because I needed a bit of a tone break. So if you look, originally, I think it was Chris was it that set up the original program. He had it at the lowest setting and the highest setting. These are no good for my aged geriatric hearing, so I've altered them to suit. So 200, the first one, is basically a discrimination level. 200 is 5. Anything below 5 will give you an iron grunt, still be virtually ignored. The next tone break is 200 again, and what that does is take it from the discrimination level up to my first level of 24. And I tend to find that anything that's ferrous, anything that's iron, apart from the odd washers, the bits of twisty wire, twisty nails, don't sound above 24, don't signal above 24 until you get right up to the 97, 98, 99 type signals, which generally are ferrous signals. Once again, twisty bits of iron. I dig them anyway because I'm an idiot. But so the next tone break, if I can get to move, there we go, is my favoured high-pitched sound, which is 862. It's a good sound for me, good tone. I like it. You can lower it if you like a more pleasing sound, but anything above 24 will sound at 862, which to me is the dig it, you've got one tone. So moving on, if you don't know how to set tone breaks, have a look at Gary Blackwell's XP Skills School. It shows you how to set tone breaks in good detail on there. So first tone break obviously is discrimination level at 5. The next one is 24, and that sounds everything from 24 up to the top of the range of the detector. So if the coil finds a signal, non-ferrous signal, usually above 24, it'll give you quite a pleasing tone. So let's exit from there. And again, so that's discrimination. Next one, sensitivity. Now, what sensitivity is, a lot of people think it's volume control, how loud your signals are going to be. It's not. Its sensitivity is the way your detector receives signals around it. I suppose it alters the range of it. Can alter the depth, but usually alters the range. The higher you have your sensitivity, the more signals it's going to pick up from a wider range, which means it may pick up interference as well. I tend to keep my sensitivity not much higher than 90, unless I'm on an exceptionally quiet site. Then I'll raise it right up. I've run it at 96, 97 before now, but that's exceptional sites. If you look at the expert setting, TX Power 2, this is a good all-round TX power. That is the power that your detector's sending out. That's the power of the signal that's been transmitted into the soil and received by the coil. It'll pick up good deep signals. If you're still getting a bit confused by some of the iron signals that tend to send out a crackly response, raise it up to about 3, but I won't go much higher than that. It's a good all-rounder too. Right, let's get out of that. So that's sensitivity. Frequency. Now, Chris always recommended the highest you could go, and I found that to be true. This program works better on a higher frequency than a low frequency, even though you'd think that to find a deep target you'd need to be around about 11 or 7. This is good at a high frequency. Obviously, if you get interference, go into your expert setting, and I've got it right up the top at 27. I'm running on an X35 coil. I used to use a HF coil, the white HF coil, where I could go right up to 50 odd, 56. I rarely use that on this program, but it's set at 27 is good for finding your small coins at depth, I find. So let's get out of that. Obviously, if you're near a demented chicken detector, one of these silly mine labs that are sort of chucking and chortling and blipping away, you'll need to alter your frequency, or just do what I do and move away from the damn machines that are overloading all the surrounding detectors with the silly sounds. Right, so next setting, iron volume. If you don't want to hear your iron volume, reduce that setting down. I like to know when I've got an iron grunt on this program, because it's a good program for searching new ground, new areas, deep pastures. And I like to, well, I use a combination of sounds, and I'll come on to the XY screen, but a good iron grunt, which I've already set up below 24 signals, tell me to move on. So let's down to the next one. Reactivity. It's a misunderstood setting, reactivity. Reactivity is really the speed that your processor in your detector handles signals. If you're in an area, particularly with a lot of iron contamination, when you're searching a new site, what reactivity does is speed up the way your detector processes the signals from your coil. If you are looking for small non-ferrous objects in an iron-strewn site, reactivity will shorten the signals you're receiving, so you gain short blips rather than sort of longer tones, which may mask the fainter non-ferrous signals. So reactivity 3 is a good setting. Try not to raise it too high. 4 is about the most I'd go, and if you're taking it down, I won't go down much below 2.5 on this particular program. If you look at expert setting, now silence is on -1. What silencer is the way your detector gets rid of all the iron crackling, the iron signalling. that can be confusing things. Now, the reason it's on -1 is because I've got reactivity up high. Silencer is linked in with reactivity. Try not to alter your silencer settings. Instead, alter your reactivity. Reactivity will overrule silencer and set where it wants. But in this instance, -1 works well with the reactivity I've got. So reactivity 3, silencer -1. Audio response. Now, once again, this isn't volume. What audio response is the way your processor amplifies signals from your coil. So if you want to hear those faint signals, especially if you've got geriatric hearing like me, have a reasonably high audio response. You can take it higher. I find 4 works okay. The expert setting is purely audio overload. That's the sound your detector plays when it's close to a signal source. If you're hitting a really big lump of iron, a broken ploughshare, something like that, it'll play a tone to say you're getting too strong a signal. You back off. Audio overload's good for me at 1. You can rate it to 2. I find 1's okay even for my cockeyed hearing. Right, so that's audio response. Now, notch. I think I described notch as a sledgehammer approach to detecting settings in the previous video. Yeah, really, notch is okay if you want to filter out a specific signal that you're finding on a particular permission. If you know that your field is infested with aluminium foil, ring pulls, things like that, you can notch out that particular range of frequencies. However, be careful. Notch can take out frequencies you want. I'll not show you how to set up notch. Have a look at the XP skills Google. It's explained quite well on there and in your manual. But I find I rarely, if ever, use notch except in one specific program, which I'll come to. So we're back to discrimination again. That's your program. Easy to install, fairly easy to use, a good dig it or don't dig it program for searching. So right, it uses the XY screen, what some people call the oscilloscope screen. I think it's important for this program to keep an eye on both your screen and your tones. Obviously anything top left, bottom right is going to be an iron signal, ferrous signal. I mentioned aluminium foil, things like that. If it's a vertical signal, straight up, straight down, that's going to be aluminium. So even though this program's set up to give you a tone in the aluminium range, look at your XY screen, you'll know roughly where it is. And a dead horizontal signal is usually coke or hot rock or something like that, ceramic. Once again, it's giving you a false signal. So keep an eye on your XY screen, much more accurate than the horseshoe screen, which can give you a lot of false positives on this program. So save your program. I've called it Core 2 because Chris, certain Shropshire, called it Core originally. This is just a few tweaks to his original program. Have a play with it, see what you think. Leave comments in the video if you find it doesn't work, and glowing praise if it does work, which I find it does, particularly in my deep wet pastures sometimes, in the valley bottoms. So with that, save it, and please, this is a personal request. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize my channel. To get YouTube to pay a few of my expenses, and I need 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm on about 600 and something, 650 or something. So please subscribe. It don't cost you anything. It takes no effort. It just tells you if I post any new videos and tells YouTube that I've got enough subscribers for them to consider paying me when I've posted a new video up. Totally mercenary. But it'll pay the bills when I go out and make these videos. So with that, I'll say thank you for watching this far, and thank you for subscribing if you do subscribe. Bye.